Welcome to Long Beach, California, the home of the Congressional Cup, an event that has attracted the best names in sailing year after year.
My name's Rod Davis. I've competed something in the range of 15 times.
I believe this is Congressional Cup number 14 as skipper and 16 in total. Yeah, I just can't stay away, I guess.
My name is Steve Flam. I've done 27 Con Cups and I've seen the whole evolution of the event.
You know, it's actually the rest of the sport's kind of evolved around it.
I grew up, reading about Dave Perry to the Rods and the Dennises and the Turners. It was match racing.
Back then we raced offshore. Of course, the racing's back along the pier now, so that's a big difference.
The Catalina 37s were a big step forward. It was very even boats across the field, and the boats were ideally suited for match racing.
As I got into match racing, Con Cup always stood out there as one of those famous ones I'd heard about. So to actually go out there and finally win it was pretty special.
Fortunate enough to win the Congressional Cup twice, two of the biggest moments of my sailing career.
For sure, a great achievement to win here. This is a so prestigious event.
I felt very privileged to have been included and having a chance to win the event to really launch my America's Cup career.
It's gone down in history as being one that you have to go to.
Now celebrating 50 years, the Congressional Cup has become the defining event for many of the greats in our sport, and winning it is one of the highest accomplishments of all. Today begins a double round-robin qualifying round for the top 10 match racing sailors that are here in Long Beach. The 10 teams represent 8 nations, and of them 6 have won this event before. It's going to be a competitive week. We begin with a light and slow but nonetheless eventful start to the Congressional Cup. Ian Williams, ranked number 2 in the world, is late on entry against America's Cup sailor Francesco Bruni, number 10, on starboard, teeing him up. And keep in mind, Williams has to dip below the line. Lucky for Williams, good move that Bruni didn't respond to. He will get back to the line before 2 minutes and save getting a penalty. However, at port starboard, Bruni still having his way with Williams down to the left-hand end of the starting line, coffin corner. Well, there's the gun, and this has to be one of the most unusual ways to start a match race, let alone the Congressional Cup. Bruni, down here at the pin end, will start a length and a half behind at speed. Williams goes over the top of the committee boat and starts very late and slow. No spinnakers in our next match, but certainly plenty of talent. World-ranked number 1 Taylor Canfield here on port is facing reigning Congressional Cup champion Simone Federese. Flags already flying. The first 30 seconds, it's green. Federese to leeward, and Canfield will get over the top. 25 seconds to go. Look at Canfield's speed just powering over Federese as both boats head for the line. They're both early at this point, so we might see a split tack start. And it is at the gun. Federese down here to the left. Canfield will tack and head right. And no surprise, upwind, it's a big split. Back in match 1, trouble on the bow. Bruni leads Williams across, or rather around mark number 1, as Williams reels him in from behind. More action at the top mark. Here's what happened. Taylor Canfield and Simone Federese luffed up well beyond the windward mark, but it was Canfield who got a red flag penalty, and he's spinning. Well, this ought to be confusing, so we'll try to talk you through it. Scott Dixon in a different match is getting in the middle of Williams and Bruni. Williams calls for Dixon not to tack, but he was on starboard. Bruni was supposed to tack, but he didn't. Flags in different matches. I am thoroughly confused. I'll bet the umpires are as well. But one thing is for sure, out of the melee, Ian Williams passes Francesco Bruni. Now it is a 4-boat race to the finish. Throughout all of this, penalty flags are continuing to fly. There's 4 simultaneous jives, but not before 1 yellow flag penalty was given. And I don't know who got it. And don't write Francesco Bruni out of all of this. The wind shadows from the lead match have slowed Williams down, and he's now bow forward, heading to the finish. And here's an update. We found out who owns that yellow flag penalty. It is Bruni. So it's not over yet. Heading to the line, he'll have to shed it. Here we go, Bruni's only option. They jibe for the finish. Is to luff Williams as hard as he can, but does he have the overlap, or can Williams get over his bow? Oh, it's close. It's close. But Ian Williams has done it. He'll put his bow down towards the finish and take the race. And Con Cup champ Simone Federici takes Taylor Canfield. Flight 2, and we join Scott Dixon, just entering here from the right-hand side on starboard. Facing former Congressional Cup winner Mathieu Richard on port. Here's the dial-up. Richard in full reverse. Dixon, however, has tacked away and will build pace on port, perhaps to have another go at the Frenchman. Dixon is back into him. Port starboard. Richard full lock. Helm is over. He'll jibe. Now Dixon is lured boat. No harm, no foul yet. Now Richard will get across on port and back to the line. Minute 55. Bowman calling both skippers into the line. Final approach. Richard will be to windward, and Dixon here to leeward. And now two more Congressional Cup winners, Johnny Berntsen and Francesco Bruni, will square it out. Can Bruni get across the starboard tacker's bow? Yes, it's close. Max Serena, the skipper of Luna Rossa, on the bow for Bruni. Both of these guys were used to going almost 50 miles an hour in the Cup, now down to 8. They're pushing Johnny Berntsen towards the line. Timing was off, though, for Berntsen, and Bruni capitalized on it, starting right on top of his breeze.
Look at that, no flag.
Oh, yeah. It was a big split at the top mark. The right pays off. That's Francesco Bruni, out in front of Berntsen by about 4.5 lengths. And local hero Scott Dixon is leading his match over Mathieu Richard. Dixon and crew are the only team representing the Long Beach Yacht Club, and this is his 15th Congressional Cup.
For me, it's different because it's a world-class event in the town that I live in, and so rather than having to travel to find the the top guys to race against, they come to town for a change, which is great. And obviously, it is one of the top events in the world, and just an opportunity for local teams to sail at this level, which is just unbelievable.
And with that, he'll take a point over Mathieu Richard. And Francesco Bruni takes Johnny Berntsen. Flight 3, match 1. Dave Perry and Phil Robertson in the dial-up.
Robertson has the leeward and favored position.
Over the committee boat, Robertson jibes and gets it complete onto starboard. Over Perry's bow, looks like he'll do a double and set up for a lead-in position. Minute 15 to go. At the gun, Robertson leads to the left with speed. 2 tacks later, Perry is slow. At the top mark, it is incredibly close. Phil Robertson only just leading. 2-time Congressional Cup winner from the 80s, Dave Perry, the Delta, half a boat length. Always a tough position to be in if you're close in front. Is the first jibe on the run. Can Perry get on top of Robertson's breeze? 2 more jives later, it is far from over. I'd be nervous if I were Robertson. few moments later, and here it comes. Perry on the offensive. Is he on Robertson's breeze? It looks like it. Speed going forward. Bow 5 sliding ahead as we head to the leeward mark. Lots of different things going on here. The umpires are going to have some dizzying decisions to make, but not before Perry will get inside at the zone and likely round ahead, but it's far from over. And when it's all done, Robertson gets the penalty. Talk about closing gauge. Robertson has pinched right up under Perry this entire upwind leg. Perry, leyline, will finally tack away. Dave Perry seems to be in his element. This event is one of his favorites, and he's won it 2 times before.
Well, first of all, it's just 1 against 1. You win it or you lose it, and everyone's good. So the race is close, and it's just like someone took 2,000 volts of electricity, put her up your behind. It's the cream of the cream. It's the incredible Long Beach Yacht Club. The boats are fantastic. The venue right there off the pier, sunny, warm, windy, and then you got the best sailors in the world. This is the Super Bowl of sailing right now. There's probably no better match racing on the planet than right here this week.
At the set, Perry leads by a length, but Robertson still has to shed that penalty. Same move, same leg, same story from the trailing boat. Robertson now giving chase to Perry, trying to get over the top of him, blanket his breeze. Robertson's making his move now, and this is where it hurts most. His spinnaker and his main blanketing Perry's boat to leeward. Now can he break the overlap, and then can he still shed the penalty? Folks, he has done it just before the finish. Overlap is broken. Kites are coming down. Robertson's inside at the finish boat. Perry stuck to windward. Can he shed the penalty, and can he still stay ahead of Perry? Now Robertson both inside and leeward boat. Perry's going to put his bow down. Perry's going to try and squeak in there. Does he have rights to do it? Can he get shut out? Penalty flag. Oh, he's hitting the committee boat. He's hit the anchor line, but not the committee boat. So under the rules, he's okay, but as he won the race, a jibe from Robertson. Definitely some penalty flags here. The race is not over yet. Contact. Both boats have crossed the line, but there is no winner yet. Oh, yes, there is, and it's Dave Perry.
And so the 50th anniversary of the Congressional Cup is now well underway. We are now 5 flights into stage number 2, the qualifying round. And currently, Ian Williams and Keith Swinton are tied, sitting on top of the leaderboard with 4 wins and 1 loss apiece. Behind them, there's a 4-way tie for 3rd place, but there's still a lot more sailing to go here in Long Beach. I'm Tucker Thompson for T2P TV. We'll see you tomorrow.